Hello, cult members, and welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
I did it right this time.
Yay.
And welcome to our new series called Now We Know, where we go back and watch old trailers and see if they hold up, if they spoil anything, and how we feel about them now, knowing what we know. Hence, now we know. And now we're doing phase 2 of the MCU, and we are now to everyone's favorite Avenger movie, Avengers: The Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I don't. Unlike the Thor
Dark
World, I don't agree with the masses on this one. And we just watched Everything Great About Age of Ultron, wasn't it?
I think I watched a bunch of them lately. So
I think we just watched this one, and they agree that. Now that's the job is Everything Great About, but
right.
They point out a lot of good stuff. I mean, James Spader,
right, as Ultron, and you get the introduction of Claw for like a hot second, which kind of like winks and nods at Black Panther that was coming.
And then
to
Vision,
people. You get the Vision becomes reality, and you get the Avengers being full-on Avengers. You also get Tony, because of what happens with the first Avengers and knowing that there's other things out there, aliens and whatever, and they could be attacking. And then you get what happens with him with Iron Man 3. This is really the culmination of that story where he wants to put a suit of armor around the world to protect everybody because he doesn't feel like he can do it on his own, and it's his responsibility.
Right, and his vision that Wanda kind of makes him see is foreshadowing. We didn't know it at the time, but it was really foreshadowing for Endgame.
Really, yeah, absolutely. So here we go. Here's our trailer reaction to, what are we doing? Oh yeah, Age of Ultron, and go. I'm so glad they got rid of this green screen thing. We know. Get away. All right.
I'm gonna show you something beautiful.
I wonder if they deepened his voice.
Everyone screaming for mercy.
Wow, they just showed him.
You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. You're all puppets, tangled in strings.
There are no strings on me.
It's the end. The end of the path I started us on.
Nothing lasts forever.
Hulkbuster.
Still cool. Wow, they show a lot.
Yeah.
Now I'm free. There are no strings on me.
Very dark.
Well,
2015.
so now we're at 5 years.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I forgot how ominous that one is because they just straight out just show you that the Avengers are defeated
Yeah.
and they are no longer together.
Right, which we knew from the end of Civil War, right?
Civil War is after this. Civil War's after this.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
so-
thinking we just did Civil War, but
Nope,
Civil War's the
we
next
did Winter
one.
Soldier,
Right.
And this is them. They're all, at the beginning of the movie is them all fighting together, and then by the end they're all defeated and kind of go off in their different directions. And
Right. Well, because they feel like Tony kind of brought this on.
Brought it on them, on all of them.
On
Yeah.
all of them, yeah. And Tony's like, I'm just trying to, like you said, put armor around the world and save everybody. So he's conflicted, and Wanda shows him, basically what's going to happen, and so he's dealing with all that, and super dark. They show you a lot, but they don't tell you anything.
There's no contents to any of it.
Yeah.
No context to any of it.
Yeah.
And you get the Red Room stuff with Black Widow. You get Thor going to the pit to kind of see the future, which leads us into the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet and stuff like that.
Right.
And you get Natasha standing by herself at the new HQ for Shield at the end of the movie, where they kind of
foreshadowing,
yeah, a lot
for Endgame,
and right. But they show a lot of different things in it, and it's very jarring to watch this after watching the fun, plucky one of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Galaxy, and this was the next one that came out, and you're like, holy crap! Like the idea. Now, I have not read the Ultron book, the Ultron story arc, and I really want to. And a lot of people complained that this was just set up for something else with the introduction of Claw, but this, for me, like we've talked about, was the culmination of all the stuff that had come before it, with the battle in New York and Tony's reaction to it, and everybody else's reaction to Tony, and then they set up stuff going forward with the twins, with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and I love that. I'll get into that, but I just Sokovia we get the Sokovia Accords after this because of what happens, because now they have accountability for him, and Tony feels now that they have to have accountability because he made mistakes, and like all of that. It's the narrative they're telling in this movie, like, puts a nice bow on everything else that's going on, and it just I don't know why people hate it so much.
I don't either. I mean, it's maybe not in my top. It's definitely not in my top 5. It might be in my top 10. Not because I don't like it, but because it's just tough for me. As I'm not into comic books. I've never been into comic books. That wasn't my thing. I mean, I love the movies,
right?
And for me, it's kind of a tough watch. You're like, I love all these characters, and I just want everybody to get along and go out and fight the bad guys, and just kind of and it's a little poignant right now, right? Because he was Thanos before we got Thanos, right? He just wanted to wipe off the virus of the planet,
right.
Start over.
That's totally what Ultron wanted to do. Is he wanted to get rid of everything that was not metal and that he could control, and if that's actually what the story is within the comic, cool. If it's not, cool. What they did here, and just showing the fallibility of the Avengers really gave stakes, especially with the loss of Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Now, if you understand a lot of the industry stuff and what was going on, and they were using Quicksilver in the Fox X-Men movies, so they couldn't call him Quicksilver,
right?
And they never really said his name. Call him. He was fast and she was weird, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they couldn't say mutants because they're mutants, and like that whole. If you know all of that, you kind of knew that we were going to lose Quicksilver in this movie. But you show him they show the two of them at the beginning of the trailer through the fire and stuff, and then you see him fighting with them, and you see Scarlet's reaction to. So you don't even know that they're really even part of the bad guys, right? By watching this trailer,
not by watching this trailer, but if you saw the post credit scene
from Guardians?
Was it Guardians? It might be Guardians.
No, it was Winter Soldier. Guardians was
yeah.
the one where they took the stone to the
guy,
the
yeah.
Nova Corps or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, if you watch that, then you have been waiting for the two of them to show back up.
Yeah.
So now we get them, but you still don't understand if you like me, you don't understand the context of. I mean, you kind of understand from the post-credit scene that they were created to go after the Avengers, but you don't really understand their context. And then by the end, they're on the other side.
Yeah, yeah. And it's I love this movie. I just and might be just my contrarianness. But I just love what they do in this movie. And yes, it is hard to watch because the people that you love, these characters you love, are shown to have flaws, and they're shown to not be almighty, and they are going to lose. And the real reason that they win is because they create equal to Ultron with Vision. With the Mind Stone, and it's really Vision that's the one that comes in and kind of saves the day.
Absolutely,
at the end.
yeah.
And then it leads to everything else we get in Phase 3, and I love that. That's part of the reason why I love the MCU so much, and so.
I wanted to bring up
when
we watched Everything Great About. I know that's what it was that we watched. When we watched that, the guy, I don't remember what his name is, that narrates or whatever,
from Cinema
points out that when Steve goes to, when they're all sitting around playing who can pick up Mjolnir, and Steve like kind of, it moves a little bit and you see Thor kind of, wait a minute. His theory, and I love this, is that Steve could actually, he went and he was like, but didn't want to do that to his friend, right? Didn't want to embarrass him in front of everybody, whatever, and was probably a little like, oh shit, I could actually pick this thing up,
right.
I love that because then what happens,
because it leads to what happens in Endgame, and Thor's reaction in Endgame. We'll get into the Endgame stuff when we get there, but the Thor's reaction at Endgame is set up because of the scene.
Yeah,
if Steve does pick it up and kind of throws it in his friend's face in front of everybody, that friendship is even more damaged.
Yeah,
and
Steve Rogers wouldn't do that. He's a nice guy.
Right. He's right, and that's because he's a good man and not just a super soldier. And it's important. And that story narrative happens in this movie. Why do people hate this movie? Anyways, that's our thoughts on Avengers: Age of Ultron. What did you guys think of this trailer and our reaction to it? Let us know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and follow us on all the social media jazz, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All those links are in the description down below. And until next time, if we don't see you, cult members, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.